The story of the king, the merchant, and Providence. In the kingdom of Aryanpur, there was a wise and benevolent king named Shailendra. He ruled with justice and cared deeply for the well-being of his people. King Shailendra often wondered about the mysteries of life, how events unfolded, how people's lives were shaped, and how much of it was truly in their control. One day, while walking through the royal gardens, he came across an elderly merchant named Harish. Harish was well known in the kingdom for his honest dealings, his wisdom, and his knowledge of the world. King Shailendra invited Harish to join him for tea, hoping to gain some insight into life's deeper truths. Harish, the king asked as they sat down, I have often wondered about the forces that guide our lives. How much is in our control, and how much is determined by Providence? I have seen people struggle despite their best efforts, while others seem to be effortlessly surrounded by helpers and success. What do you think about this? Harish took a slow sip of his tea, then looked at the king thoughtfully. Your Majesty, he said, this is a question that many of us ponder throughout our lives. Let me share a story with you that may provide some clarity. The tale of the merchant and the divine plan. Once upon a time, there was a merchant named Rajan, who lived in a distant village. Rajan was known for his clever business sense and his ability to turn even the most modest of resources into wealth. He worked tirelessly day and night, constantly striving to improve his business. Despite his hard work, Rajan often felt that something was missing. There were many obstacles in his path, rival merchants, unpredictable weather, and occasional bad luck. No matter how hard he tried, there were times when success seemed elusive. One day, after yet another setback in his business, Rajan decided to visit a wise hermit who lived on the outskirts of the village. The hermit was known for his deep understanding of fate and providence, and Rajan hoped that the sage might provide him with the answers he sought. When Rajan arrived, he found the hermit sitting peacefully under a banyan tree. After greeting him, Rajan asked, Great sage, I have worked diligently all my life, yet I often face obstacles that hinder my success. I don't understand why my hard work does not always lead to prosperity. Please, can you tell me what I am missing? The hermit looked at Rajan kindly and said, Rajan, the world works in mysterious ways. Your intellect, your efforts, and your business are all influenced by Providence. As is the desire of Providence, so functions your intellect. It is not only your own intelligence or skill that determines success, but also the will of a higher power. Let me tell you a story. The story of the king and his workers. Long ago, in a distant land, there was a king named Vikram, who, like you, often wondered about the workings of Providence. He had an ambitious plan to expand his kingdom, to build new roads, and to bring prosperity to his people. But despite his best efforts, progress was slow. The laborers he hired were often distracted, the weather was unpredictable, and there were many obstacles in his way. One day, while walking through the construction site, King Vikram noticed a poor man sitting on a rock, watching the workers. The man was not helping, but instead, he seemed to be observing everything quietly. Intrigued, the king approached him and asked, Why do you not work with the others? Are you not interested in the prosperity of the kingdom? The man smiled and replied, Your Majesty, I am simply a humble traveler. I do not have the strength to work alongside these men, but I see something that you do not. The workers who are here today are not here by mere chance. It is Providence that has brought them to this site. Though it may seem that their efforts are insufficient, they are each here for a purpose, as helpers of your grand plan. Some are skilled, others less so, but all are part of a greater design. Do not measure success by the immediate results, but trust that Providence has placed these helpers in your path for a reason. The hermit paused, and turned back to Rajan. King Vikram's success did not depend solely on the labor of the workers, it also depended on the will of Providence, which brought the right people into his life at the right time. In the same way, your success, Rajan, is not only determined by your intellect or your efforts but by the will of Providence. You must trust that, in time, the right helpers will appear, whether they are people, opportunities, or moments of inspiration. These helpers are guided by Providence, and it is through their assistance that your path will unfold. Rajan was silent for a moment, contemplating the sage's words. But what if I don't see these helpers? He asked. The hermit smiled. Sometimes, they may not appear in the form we expect, or at the time we wish. But when the time is right, Providence will guide them to you. It is your task to remain patient, continue with your efforts, and trust that the right people and circumstances will emerge to assist you when needed. Moral of the story, as is the desire of Providence, so functions one's intellect. One's activities are also controlled by Providence, and by the will of Providence, one is surrounded by helpers. While we must put in our own effort and work diligently, the ultimate course of our lives is often shaped by forces beyond our control. The right helpers will appear at the right time, guided by Providence, to help us fulfill our purpose. Trust in the unfolding of life's plan and remain patient, for the universe has its own way of bringing everything together when the time is right. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more valuable content like this. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.